Good morning, amazings. It is out of my control. I'm sure I did a video on this already, but I'm going to do another one because it's so important to remember what is in your control and what isn't in your control. So, for me, like last night, the dogs, Rose mostly, had me up quite a bit because she had gotten into something and wasn't feeling good, and I had to let her out. This happened before. But before, I would get so frustrated. Okay, what is she eating? Who is doing what? Da 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 da. And last night, I just kept saying to myself, it's out of my control. Something I've been practicing doing for myself is not paying attention to people's business. Not my issue. And I remind myself by the minute somebody starts talking about it, or the minute I start thinking about it and ready to talk about it, I go, or even if the words come out of my mouth where I'm starting to talk about it, I go, but you know what? Not my monkey, not my circus, not my pig, not my farm. And that's how I remind myself that it's none of my business. It is none of my business what's going on. Yes, I try and keep the dogs from not eating whatever they're eating or getting into whatever they're getting into. But sometimes, sometimes you can do maybe they're not even getting into anything and they just, that just has, maybe it was too hot. Maybe she had too much water. Maybe whatever, right? There's lots of different things that could happen. She's a water dog, loves water, so maybe she had too much water. And she got an upset tummy. But anyways, we get to choose who we want to be. We get to be who we want to be. And just like the video I did last time about helping with getting to that door, right? If something is out of your control, then let it go. One step at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a time is how I like to focus on living my life. Having Matt with epilepsy and other health issues and disabilities and stuff, it's gotten me to a place where I can't decide ahead of time what I'm going to do, right? So I live in one, which is really good to focus on one moment at a time. Do I fantasize or visualize, I should say, about what the future holds? You betcha I spend time there doing that. But things that are out of my control, I no longer focus on. So I have no control over whether Matt's going to have a seizure or not. I have no control over whether my house is going up for sale. Which, by the way, it's sold and we get to stay here, so that's cool. I have no control over what's going to happen with the pandemic. I have no control over whether people are going to get vaccinated or not vaccinated. I have no control over anything except how I act and react. It's very important to live in a state of knowing everything is going to work out instead of wanting to control it. Like, we want to control our bodies. We want to, so I'm a female, obviously, and our bodies as females go through so many different hormonal things. We go from like puberty, we go to having children or not having children, but still having the hormones for that. Then we go through menopause, and it's all hormonal, right? We have no control over it. We have no control. If we're doing everything properly and everything we've always done to keep our weight down, and we start gaining weight during menopause, we have no control over that, right? We can try and find different ways to help with it. We could, there's so much information out there now about how to help with menopause and stuff. But basically, what your body's going through, right? So you have to be okay with it. Allow it. When you go and hurt yourself, right? by accident, obviously. You have no control over that. You have no control over the pain or, what you've done to yourself or whether they can find anything or anything like that. And we've been taught that you need to control things. But the one thing we should have been taught is that we only thing we have control over is ourselves. We have control over our thoughts. We have control over our feelings. We have control over the things that come out of our mouth. We have control over what we see and what we don't see. We have control over who we want to be and what we're doing to be that person, and how we choose to act and react. That's totally up to us. It has nothing to do with anything else. The other day I did a video, a couple days ago I did a video, and then about the doors, and then I was asked, like, how do I do that? And the funny thing is that when I was putting out the video of the doors to heaven and hell, I was actually worried about putting it out there. I was doubting myself, right? I do that sometimes. I still get caught in that body mind, right? And I said, no, I'm not doubting myself. This is what I've done. This is the message I'm getting out there today, and this is what I can do. I have no control over what reactions I will get. I have no control over other people. That's up to them and how they viewed it. And I actually got some really good responses from it. And then I was happy that I had put it out and helped people, right? We will always second guess ourselves, and we will want control over, not over other people, but how other people see things or how other people live, or how we always have that thought process. And we don't even think about it as being control. I would love to control the fact that Matt not ever have a seizure again, but that's not going to happen. I would love to not, and it's funny because you don't think about it as being control, but it is kind of controlling, isn't it? Because you want people to be who you want them to be, or you want people, like, how they would live happier. Like, I can't believe that, like, they were living that way. And we get into this judging thing, right? We've been taught it, and yes, we can work our way out of it, because when you know better, you do better. You can do better once you know that that's not the way to go. But we really want control over what's happening in our life. And the fact is, we have no control over what's happening in our life. We need to believe that everything is working out for us. So this process, you guys have come with me on the selling of the house, and the landlord putting it up for sale. And it was really interesting because I had said over and over again that phrase, not my circus, not my monkey, not my monkey, not my circus. And every time something happened, I would start feeling my anxiety get up, and I don't want anybody in my house or anything like that. And then I was like, no. The people that are coming into my house are going to be really nice, friendly people, and I'm really looking forward to getting out of the house with the kids. You get to choose your thoughts, but it takes time to remind yourself. So when you find yourself wanting control of something that you can't have any control over, remind yourself everything is working out for you. Everything is always working out for you. It is not your monkey, not your circus, so there's nothing you can do about it. Allow for things to work out for you. Accept that this is where you are, and it's okay. It is okay. This is where you're supposed to be right now. And when you know better, you can do better. But if you don't know, then you can't do better. So don't push it that you need that control, because you don't. You need to let go and allow. Let the universe have it. The universe has a plan. The universe always has a plan for you. Sit with yourself for a few minutes. Meditate on what it is you want. How do you want this to work out? Not what you don't like about the situation. How can I get this to work out in my favor? So let's say, like the other day, There was a person who, a really nice person, but they kind of, something they did kind of bothered me, right? So instead of doing what I would normally do and complain about it, I decided to sit with myself and go, okay, how can I handle the situation? So, of course, this is an inside job, right? Because the other person is just being who they are. I have no control over them, can't stop them from doing what they're doing. I can put up boundaries so that maybe it doesn't happen again, right? But mostly, I can go inside and I can go, okay, why is this bothering me? And how can I fix it? So, what do I like about the person? Let's go there. What's better about the person? How can, and start seeing the person the way you want to see them instead of seeing them with the issue that's happening. Because usually we focus on that one issue and then we'll find another issue and another issue and another issue and another issue. And then there'll be a pile of issues. And this really nice person who we really liked before, we no longer like because they have all these issues now. But they're all our issues because they're coming from us and something that we are not dealing with. Oh no! My my better or